Welcome, I'm Dr. Todd Royce with Chiropractic First and right now. Super glad you've joined us today for Lunch and Learn. Today we're talking about the 5 keys to health freedom by taking care of your spine. How many spines do you think you get in this lifetime? So we've got to take care of the one that we've got. So the reason we're taking care of our spine is because, as most of you know on this line, it is our lifeline. It is your power source. So, from the back, it should be straight up and down. From the side, it should have 3 curves just like that. That is what normal looks like. If we have our spine way out of alignment or anything from that, then it's going to be abnormal. You're not going to be expressing optimal normal health. The reason we care about it is not because we care about the bones, although we care about the bones. We care about the nervous system that's on the inside of there. The nervous system controls every function in the body. I was on an airplane coming back from a conference once and sat next to a really well-known eye surgeon, and we were talking about what we had learned at our respective conferences. He was at a different conference than I was across the country, and after the conversation, he drew the body like this. He drew an eyeball, and then he drew legs coming off of it and arms coming off of it. And he said, clearly, that's how I view the body, and this is how you view the body. He drew arms coming off the spine. And I said, yeah, I agree, that is how we view the body. Which one looks more like the real body? Because your power source is your spine, so we've got to take care of it. So these are the 5 keys to taking care of it. More in a moment. So the first key is maintain good, healthy, normal posture. Your posture is the window into how your spine is functioning. More and more and more, we're seeing people with their heads creeping forward, sliding down like this. We're seeing this text neck phenomenon. A very famous cancer MD said that this is the first generation where the parents are going to outlive the kids in the history of man. One of the biggest reasons for that is because our posture is getting worse and worse as we're on our smartphones. You will not find a person with normal posture in an assisted living home. You will not. They're all like this, and they're all on 27 medications, drooling all over themselves. Completely not okay. We need to take care of these folks. We need to take care of ourselves so we're not in that situation. Studies have been done that have shown that for every inch your head is forward, there's another 15 pounds of leverage on your upper back and your lower neck. 15 pounds, it's like carrying around a really heavy bowling ball all the time. It's destroying the joints, destroying the nerves, and destroying the power from flowing through the body. Another study by Dr. Rene Caillet at the University of Southern California, also known as the University of Spoiled Children, just because it was my, my rival, because I went to UCLA. But Rene Caillet, the head of physical medicine there, said that for every inch your head is forward, you lose 30% of the oxygen to your body. 30% for every inch you're forward. So if your head is 2 inches forward, you have 60% less oxygen than normal. So keep your spine upright and normal. So everything you do should be normal. So the spine should have 3 curves there. When we're bent over to pick something up, and more on this later, it should have the same shape, just bent over. The legs should be like that, and you're picking up a barbell or a child or a cake off the ground, doesn't matter what it is, you should have normal posture no matter what you're doing. Number 2 is get off the darn chair. If you've been reading research lately, you know that modern researchers are calling sitting the modern smoking. Fewer and fewer people are smoking. Some people are sitting all the time and they're smoking. But when you're sitting all the time, you're creating massive loads on your spine. You're creating damage every single day. So if you're sitting in bad posture, that multiplies the effect. So if you absolutely must sit, and some of us are going to work on computers, ideally you'd have a station that raises and lowers, and I'm recommending those for a lot of people that I take care of. But if you can't go that far and you must sit all day, follow what my Italian friend, he's not really my friend, but Signore Cerullo, and I am a wannabe Italian, so anything Italians put out I love, except for, well, never mind, I'm not going there. But I like Italian. That wasn't nasty, by the way. It was just not worth going into because we got important stuff to cover. So Cerullo said, he made the Pomodoro Technique. He found, the reason he calls it Pomodoro is because of his tomato. Pomodoro means tomato in Italian. His tomato-shaped egg timer. He used to time himself for 25 minutes of hard focused work and then rest for 5 or 10 minutes after that. He found that that increases productivity. As much as we want to increase productivity, that's super important. We want to protect our spine. So if you work for 20, maybe 25 minutes, and you get up and you move around and you think about something else, you'll not only increase your productivity in what you're doing because your brain is more engaged when you're working, but you'll protect your spine and you won't have all that damage and tension throughout the end of the day. That's much like intervals. Dr. Izumi Tabata developed the Tabata system of working 20 seconds on of exercise, then 10 seconds of rest for 8 rounds. That's called the Tabata interval. Very powerful. We need to be engaged for short periods of time and then rest. That's how we perform at our best. Life should not be a marathon, but a series of sprints followed by rest and recovery. So the third thing is we got to mobilize and strengthen every single day. Every day we've got to be strengthening our spine and mobilizing. Get up and do workouts like our Rhino workouts. Do CrossFit. Running is amazing, but it shouldn't be the only thing you do. I see people who all they do is run and they couldn't jump on top of a 12-inch box. That is not something that's going to get your spine healthy throughout a lifetime or the rest of your body. So mobilize all your joints every single day. Yoga is amazing for that. Yoga also incorporates breathing that brings oxygen and life to your tissues. The fourth thing is, when you are lifting, one simple rule. People say lift with the legs, not the back. Yes, they're right. But the most important thing to focus on is this. When people are bending and twisting and picking something up, they are putting tremendous dangerous loads on their spine. After 20 years of being an expert at taking care of spines, over 2 million adjustments, I've seen a lot of people hurt themselves, and I'll tell you what, the most common source of injury is when they're twisted and bent and picking something up at the same time. It's too much torque and load on our spine. So here's the rule. More important than bending with the legs, more important than anything else is nose and toes in the same direction. Okay? So when I pick something up, as long as my nose and toes are pointed in the same direction, I'm decreasing that load on my spine. So nose and toes, same direction. The fifth thing is, it's hard to say it's the most important because they're all super important, but the fifth thing is get adjusted. Wherever you're living, if you're in Tokyo right now watching this, if you're in Redding, California, if you're in Florida, wherever you are, get adjusted. It's okay if you didn't know it up till then, but the healthiest people in the world get adjusted regularly. Now, regularly means something different to different people, and ask your doctor what's the most appropriate adjustment interval for you. But if your spine is misaligned, I don't care how healthy you are everywhere else, you are not healthy. And most subluxations, these misalignments in the spine that choke off life to the body, do not cause symptoms. Most subluxations do not cause symptoms. When someone has diabetes, type 1, and they can't produce insulin, does their pancreas hurt? It doesn't. It's just not functioning right. When someone has heart disease, does it hurt the instant they have the problem? No, it doesn't. The heart disease builds for 20 or 30 years before there are any signs or symptoms, followed by sudden death most of the time. Well, that's exactly how it is with the spine. On one hand, you can't say I'm healthy as long as I don't have pain. Pain is the worst indicator of subluxation in the world because it's there usually for a long time before you have any pain. On the other hand, the opposite is true too. I had a patient who came in, she just left about an hour ago, named Linda, and she was in bad shape when she came in. She's been through a lot in her life, and when I had her tip her head back so I could adjust her, she could barely move her neck. And she looked at me, she's a very, very sincere person. She looked at me and said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to come into you like this." And I said, "Sorry, Linda, I'm here to serve you. You're not here to serve me. And to be sorry to come in to get your spine taken care of is crazy. No matter how bad you are, be here to be taken care of." I told her it's like Jesus. You don't have to be perfect to come to him. Because you're imperfect, that's why you need him. It's like saying, I need a bath to go take a bath. You don't need a bath to take a bath. The reason you take a bath is to get clean. That's the whole purpose behind it. So if your people can be way, way worse off and still see a chiropractor than they've ever realized. I broke my back. Chiropractic saved my life, there's no doubt in my mind. And if it weren't, I thought maybe I was too bad to go to a chiropractor, but Dr. Bruce Parker down in Malibu, where I discovered chiropractic, absolutely saved my life and radically changed my life for the rest of my life, because that's why I became a chiropractor. So all these things, it's amazing that people think either they can be too bad to go to a chiropractor, or they think, well, I don't have pain, so I'm healthy. Think of this. If a person's spine is 80% healthy, if it's 80% perfect, which is not too bad, 80% can still be pretty bad. If I have to fly from here to Florida tomorrow, and I'm 80% the right direction, I'll be lucky to hit North Carolina. Or I'll be lucky to only miss it by 800 miles off the coast of Florida south in the ocean somewhere. 80% is not good enough. When it comes to all the toxins in our environment, all the stresses that we have every single day in our life, all the foods that we're not eating that we should, all the foods that we are eating that we shouldn't, all of the work stress, and all of the postural stress that we have, and the lack of exercise or too much exercise for some of us, we need our spines taken care of. So, make sure you're taking care of your spine. It's the only one you get. I'm Dr. Todd. If you have questions for us about how to take care of your spine, put them right here on this Facebook feed, and we'll answer them here. We never charge anyone to sit down and talk about their needs if you want to come in and have a consultation. If you don't live in this state or in this country, I will be more than happy, whether I know you or not, to find a proper chiropractor where you live, because chiropractic is great. When it's really good, it's great, and when it's not so good, it's still pretty good, but we want to find the best one in your area, so that's a service that we provide a lot, is to find chiropractors for folks no matter where they live. I just want to thank you for joining me on this Friday Lunch and Learn, and I hope that you're having an amazing day so far and that you'll continue to. If you need our help, just let us know. And if you have not yet liked our page, like it, and this will be posted on YouTube, so I don't mention YouTube too loudly because this is Facebook. But mention us and subscribe to my channel on YouTube. I just want to thank you for joining us. Have an amazingly blessed day and weekend.